Oh, hey, I'm so glad you're here. Welcome to the Efficiency Bitch podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Leone. This podcast is dedicated to all the women out there who are aspiring to have a career while raising a family. And bitch? Well, that's more than a name and even an attitude. We use it as an acronym. It's for bank, inbox, time, connection, and harmony. Each episode is labeled according to the correct topic so that you can efficiently find the topic that you're looking for. I'm here to tell you, you can have your cake and eat it too. The trick is finding efficient ways to get through the have-tos so that you can make room for your best life. I can show you how. Let's get started. Hey, Riah, welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm obsessed with the name of your show and what you're about. And so I'm really excited. It's going to be a lot of fun.
So glad you're here. Today is a special day for me. As I was telling you before the recording, today is my book launch day, the official day that the book is out into the world. So I'm so excited to have you as the guest because we're definitely cut from the same cloth, both because we're willing to put profanity on the cover of our books, but also both being business owners, mothers, we have a lot of similarities. So yes. I really look forward to jumping into that. Why don't we start with an introduction, who you are, where you come from, how you do life?
So my name is Riah Gonzalez, and I am born and raised in Washington State. So I like to tell people that I'm moldy. That's how rainy I am. And I love it here. I don't know that I could live anywhere else just because of how beautiful it is. And I think the pace of life in terms of just the sogginess, the drippiness, it's all good. It's good stuff. I am a mom to 3 girls, and I became a very young mom, and that has really informed, my life, because when you become a mom at 20 years old and you get married at 19, it really changes who you are. I'm the author too of Successful as Fuck, a no BS tale of screwing up and succeeding anyways. I love to swear, and I do it often. And I'm also an entrepreneur and, many, many, many things, but mainly I just love to connect with people, to talk about real things, to let the mask fall, and just to be vulnerable in a way that's not, that feels authentic and good and meets people where they are, because everybody has I'm going to tell you my whole life story, but that might not be your comfort level. So just sit back, grab the popcorn, enjoy the juicy goss. It's going to be fine.
Most definitely. One of the things that I talk about in my book is the invisible audience. And it came from a story with my 11-year-old. She was 10 at the time. And she told me one day we were going to get the mail together. And she said, "Mom, do you ever feel like people are watching you?" And I was like, "Well, creepy. What?
Right.
Do you see dead people?" But she said, no, she always feels like there's an invisible audience watching her. And I had this moment of, oh my gosh, my child understands the pressure of society, and am I good enough, and all of the things that are weighing down. So I'd love for you to maybe talk a little bit about that and how your book, all came to be with a lot of those elements incorporated.
Yeah, absolutely. First and foremost, and totally unrelated but funny, is it reminds me a little bit of when my niece was super tiny. Once my sister was sleeping, she opened her eyes and my niece is right in her face, and she goes, "Mommy, is it creepy that I like to watch you sleep?" And it is creepy.
It is creepy.
And it is creepy that society likes to monitor and tell us how to live our lives. I think especially, not to get all political, but with the patriarchy, and as women, we have this double layer of pressure to be under these gender norms, and what success looks like for us and how we can obtain that. And it adds to this push and pull of not enough, too much, which is a big theme of the book. And I chose the title Successful as Fuck, not really knowing exactly what the in between the covers was going to be, but I just had this vision of I wanted something provocative that was going to stop people and say whoa, what's that about? And either they're going to be, whoa, what's that about? I want to pick up this book that has the fuck word on it, or they're going to be like, whoa, that's not for me. And that's okay too.
Yeah.
But it really is breaking down that the invisible audience, because I would like every listener to think about the last time that they felt successful as fuck. I'll wait.
Totally.
Nobody, not the most like successful people that I know from a traditional, a societal, or from a non-traditional or unconventional way. Nobody allows themselves to feel successful. And it's like there's this ethereal definition of what success is, but it's never in our reach. Because the minute we obtain the thing that we think success is, it's not enough. And we have to go for the next thing. And then we obtain that, and then it's not enough, and we have to go for the same thing because it's empty. If we're going off of what people have, what we've absorbed, like maybe inadvertently absorbed, or what we've been told is success, it's not what we internally checked ourselves and said, I'm going to feel good if I get there. Like, this is going to feel really satisfying for me. And so you get there and you're like, this is it. Like, this is the thing that's supposed to change my life, and I'm supposed to feel good. Like, that's not, it's very empty. It feels not great. And so, so successful as fuck. I mean, people a lot of times think that I'm cocky and that I think I'm successful as fuck. And like, if they could see me right now, I'm literally in like a merch sweatshirt with like messy hair and no makeup. Like, if that's success for you, then hell yeah, like I'm successful as fuck. But I mean, I have the daily waking up imposter syndrome of like, oh shit, I have to talk to people. I love talking to people, but if I have to sell, like attach money to my name, if I have to talk to somebody that I feel has more authority or notoriety than me, or more education than me, or more insert anything than me, then I feel inadequate. And at the same time, I'm feeling not enough. I'm feeling too much.
Yep.
I've been having because I'm too much.
Yeah, I've been having these exact same like back and forth emotions through this launch period, right? Like, yes. I thought I'd get this book done and I'd feel all accomplished and successful and like ready to rock, but instead I want to crawl under my desk. There is something so terrifying about self-promotion. Yeah. And I felt super great, promoting my business because I'm co-owner, and oh my
God, yes.
We did it, and we make mistakes and we are successful, but all of a sudden it's me and those are my ideas and my name is alone on that book. It is completely petrifying, and I don't know what exactly I'm afraid of. I'm afraid of people reading the words. I don't think so. I mean, I have the podcast. I talk constantly.
I mean, okay, so launch day for me, my book launched in September of, if you're listening many years from now, September of 2022, I woke up on launch day and had a panic attack. Like full on, my daughter had to go grab me a Xanax panic attack. Like, yeah. Yes. And I mean, I've been working on this for a year and I've shared pieces of this with people, and I didn't allow any, because I was working with a publishing company, I didn't allow any like full beta readers. I had people read pieces of it because I was working with so many different editors. But I knew that I was going to share very personal and very emotional parts of my life. I knew that I was doing that not to be salacious, but to connect and to show people, like, even if you can't say this, or even if you haven't experienced this exact thing, what I'm about to share with you is something that you felt that. Like, there's something that broke you. And you had to look at things differently from that point on. And I wanted to do it in a way that also elicited humor and a smile and could laugh at the dark stuff. And so there's so much pressure. And I didn't know, like, are they going to think I'm an egotistical maniac because I wrote this book about my life? Like, is this going to resonate with people? Who the fuck is going to want to read this shit? Like,
yep.
You know what I mean? Like, all of this stuff.
I'm reading the transcripts of my brain right now.
Right? And it's like, it's all out in the world. And like, what if it flops? And then, so what if it flops? Like, okay, so I wrote it for me. It was healing for me. It was good for me.
Yeah.
I said that was for me, the metric of success. So then where is all of this coming from? Like, Jesus Christ, I literally wrote this book on this topic and I'm struggling with this. And so I think, you know, what it boils down to is just understanding that we are all humans. We're all going through this experience. Nobody is an expert. Nobody knows what the hell they're doing. And we're all going to have this imposter syndrome about things, right? Like, we're all going to have this feeling. I would venture to say that even Steve Jobs woke up every once in a while and was like, who the fuck thought I could run Apple? Like, or Gary Vee, like, I mean, Gary Vee is like, I always say, like, if I could select a personality for myself, it would be the love child of Mel Robbins and Gary Vaynerchuk. Like, that would be the perfect personality for me. But like, even he is gonna say, like, he's gonna bounce back, but even he's gonna wake up and be like, oh, that sucked. You know what I mean? But then because he's so confident, he's going to say, like, all right, well, what did I learn? Like, let's move forward, because he's inherently more of a risk taker. And so it's just a very personal way of expressing things, and writing a book is things so many people want to do it. I think the stats, I'll get it wrong, but it's something like, of the people who say they want to write a book, only 1% actually does it. And like, well, that means we're 1%ers. Woo-hoo, you know what I mean? Like,
for the 1% that's crazy enough to do it, or brave enough to do it, or all of the above.
All of the above. Yeah. And
it was an intense amount of work too.
It is, but it's also so healing. And then I think, you know, again, it's like, let's give voice to the people who don't have the desire or capacity to use their own voice. And what I'm sure you'll experience in the next few weeks or months, you know, even the first day for me when I launched, I got these messages, and they're right smack dab in the middle of the book. There's a chapter that's exceptionally raw, like really, really raw. And there's like no trigger warnings needed or anything like that, but it's just like, it's the like defining event that like broke me. And so many people would say, Jesus Christ, Riah, chapter 5, what the fuck? Like, I can't, like, now I have to call out of work because I'm crying, and like, you know what I mean? Like, and my book is not that long. It's actually pretty short, but when you hear people resonate with your words, or they say, like, I felt that, but I've never been able to put the words to it. Or people that I didn't know had gone through the exact same things. Yeah. And then you're like, okay, it's worth it. But again, it's like that, okay, 1%, right? That we finished it, but that we're waking up and having panic attacks and imposter syndrome, and that we don't want to talk to people about it because we don't want to annoy them about our book. And we don't want to, like, we feel uncomfortable with promoting this thing that we've worked so hard about, because that is a measurement of success. But at the same time, there's this whole, like, am I saying I'm successful as fuck because I wrote this book? Like, is that okay for me to claim that for myself? And also the letdown. Like, literally, you have like a postpartum depression after releasing your book. Yes. Because there's all this buildup to, like, this baby that's gonna come, and then, you know, like, you're getting ready and you're preparing the nursery and you're doing all these things, and then the baby's here and you're like, wow, I love it. It's beautiful. But, like, why do I feel so empty? Totally. Why do I feel disconnected? You know, like, this is supposed to be the most amazing thing of my life. And that relates not just to writing books. That's so many things. Like that could be graduating with your degree. Compounded with, is that the degree you actually wanted?
Yeah.
Or was that the degree that someone else wanted? Or did you
Totally.
want to change your mind, but you didn't because it didn't feel safe? You know, like, or getting married, or, you know, like a myriad of things, right? And so
it even happens after the holidays. People have like the holiday hangovers all the time. That post-event depression, right?
Yes.
I'm smack dab in the middle of starting those emotions too.
Yeah. Well, it's very, very normal. I just think that what we need to do in terms of success is first address the invisible audience. Like identify who are the voices in our head. Are they specific people? Are there family members or friends or previous employers or mentors or people at school, or, you know, like random ass people, or Gary Vaynerchuk, or like whatever it might be? Who are the voices that are behind your voice in your head?
I read something one time that people often post on social media as if only 5 people are going to read it. Like everybody's read those posts where you're like, well, that was bizarre and super random. Like they're speaking to 3 or 4 people, but like 500 people can read their posts. And I get those feelings of that invisible audience is like 5 or 6 people, and maybe a bunch of faceless strangers, but oftentimes both who is supporting us and who maybe is terrifying us, it's just a small group. And if you can get outside of that, I mean, I remember when I was first launching my business, I had that exact same feeling. I've also been able to hide under the shadow of us and we, with my partner and I having success or failure together. But those feelings of that person's going to read that post and roll their eyes, or this morning, like every one of my social media channels is blasting the book and the email and everything's going. And I'm like terrified of 4 people rolling their eyes going, okay, Melissa, it's enough. I know. It's crazy how your mind can go there. But meanwhile, you know, dozens of people are texting me so excited, and I'm worried about 2 or 3 people telling me that it's too much.
Oh my God. And you know, it's funny that you say that, because it just brought to mind, like maybe a week and a half or 2 weeks into the book being published, you know, like being on Amazon and Barnes and Noble and all that. Someone who I have no idea who this is. Okay. Like this is just some random ass biatch, and not an efficiency bitch. Like this is like, I imagine her to be some like bitter ass piece of poop person. But somebody posted a rating of my book with no explanation and gave me 3 stars. And I was like, listen, bitch, right? 1 star or 5 for me. Okay. Like you loved it or it was crap. But like a 3-star with no explanation, you're not helping anyone understand if that's for them or not. And I'm offended. Like it should be horrible to you, or it should be like the best thing ever. Like that's in my mind, like the way I process it. And I obsessed about like that. That's the like invisible audience, right? That you're going to blend in and you're going to be invisible if you don't achieve these things. And so, that like was just crazy for me, because I'm like, who cares? Like in a year from now, God willing, there'll be bajillions of reviews and that 3-star will mean nothing. But it just really was offensive to me. And then it's like, okay, why do I care so much? Like, why? What is this telling me? What is this informing me? Like, again, I wrote a book. Did that person write a book? I don't know.
Right? I'm successful as fuck. Are you?
An author would never leave a 3-star review with no explanation.
Totally. We know how hard it is to get these reviews, and everything. So if you're listening, go find our books and rate them for us.
Please do. And
it means so much.
Sincerely, like this is the thing too, because I really feel so strongly about my book. Like if somebody wanted to read my book and they like, it's $4.99 on Kindle, and then It's available in paperback and hardback. But like, if you can't afford the $4.99, please send me a DM. Like, go to riahgonzalez.com or find me on social media. I will fucking give you a copy of my book.
Totally.
Not because it doesn't have value, but because it has so much value. And not because I want your review, but I want your honest opinion. I want to know, like, what do you hate about it? What do you love about it? Because if I'm making you feel, then I'm doing my job. And if I don't, totally I'm not offended either. I gave you a book and let you pass the time a little bit. But yeah, I think the whole concept, time, money, stereotypical success, it's something that we really struggle with and we really battle with in terms of allowing ourselves to embrace the awesome things that we do. And then we get stuck there, like in terms of like being efficient, let's just start there. Being efficient in the true sense of like what people think efficiency is. Okay. I am neurodivergent. I am ADHD as fuck. Like, I cannot time block if my life depended on it. Like, I don't even know how to do like annual planning correctly. I don't even know how to do monthly planning correctly. I barely can stick to a content calendar. Like, I mean, and that's not to say that I'm not efficient. I just have to look at it differently. And I also have to surround myself with different types of people, because I'm very aware of what makes me amazing. And I'm very aware of the ways that I need support to stay in my amazing. And so that is efficient. That is success. And so, but for some people, especially maybe in a professional setting or an entrepreneurial setting, they're going to say, well, I'm struggling to stick to my time blocking, so I'm not efficient and I'm not a success and I'm going to fail and like whatever. And that's just not true. You're just discovering this new side of who you are. And when you take that over into a personal setting too, it's like, it's the same thing. So maybe you don't fit into this mold. Maybe you don't make $500,000 a year, or, you're taking extravagant this or that, or you don't even have an emergency savings yet. Like, are you thinking about it? Like, are you being thoughtful in what's important to you? Maybe this is a season where you are going to accrue some debt and you're like, okay, well, this is the reason why. And I'm going to make the best decisions that I can with what I have. And that is success, even though you're in the red. You know what I mean? Like, that is success because you are aware. You are aware and you are checking with your gut on what is important to you. And I think when you move it over to connection and balance and harmony in your life, I think it's so important to recognize that achievement, and this is a huge message that I'm trying to help people understand and also work daily with myself, because I am actually not an expert. For a while I put, like, because I was just being sassy, I put unconventional success expert up on my LinkedIn. And then I was like, I like want to barf when I see that, but it was like a joke, right? You know what I mean? Because I am an expert in nothing. Like, I'm just a loudmouth who loves to have great conversation with people and to gain knowledge and share what I have. But what I'm wrestling with and really learning is success is going to happen in the here and the now. Like, there's a chapter in my book called In the Middle where it really tackles the fact that we ignore what's happening in the here and the now. And we don't embrace the mini wins that are happening every day. All of those are going to lead to the big wins, and that's how you figure out what the big win is. Like, what resonates with you, what brings you joy today. I got to spend 4 daughters with I got to spend 4 days with my middle daughter and my other daughters this weekend. And my middle lives in California and I'm in Washington. And I didn't like part of the weekend. I was kind of feeling funky, and I felt really guilty that I wasn't like all sunshiny, happy or whatever, because she's only here for 4 days.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to do some fun things and we got to have some great moments. And then there's this tiny little moment where I took them to go and do like pottery painting stuff, like ceramics painting. And she's like, what's going on with you? And I was like, I'm not feeling good. Like, meaning emotionally, I'm not feeling good. And she's like, okay. And I was like, but I'm going to give it everything I've got. Like, I'm here. Like, and I love you, and it has nothing to do with you. And so like, this is what I got right now. She's like, okay. That, people, is a motherfucking win. It's a success. Like, first of all, even though I didn't feel good, I went and did something that was loving and kind and meaningful to other people. I also honored myself this weekend. It took time to retreat and to rest. And then when someone like calls me out on it, so to speak, I was honest. I said, I don't feel good, but I'm here. And like, it's not about you. And, like, you're good. I'm happy with you. I'm just like having this internal thing. And I didn't trauma dump either, which I can do sometimes.
Totally.
So like, those are many successes that we need to really hone in and focus on. Yeah. Because we otherwise get lost in looking for the big success.
I totally agree. If you can leave us with one final thought on success and the lessons that you've learned through writing your book, through building your business, what is one maybe seed that you would plant?
I would want everyone to know that they are weird, and their flavor of weird is exactly right.
Totally.
I want everyone to know that they are wonderful, and that whatever they bring to the table, it's enough. Like, literally, please take a sticky note or something. And it makes me like emotional, but like, please tell yourself today in the mirror or on a sticky or whatever, it's enough. I'm enough. This is enough. My contribution is enough. Because the invisible audience will tell you differently, and they are liars. Like, you are enough.
Yes, I love that. I think it's really powerful. It's amazing to me how we all need the same sticky note. Like, that's how messed up media and culture and society can have as on millions of people, that we all need the same damn sticky note, right? Yes. It's really crazy. Yes. Riah, where can the audience find your book? Where can they learn more about you? How can they get in touch?
Yes. So the best place as a hub is riahgonzalez.com. Of course, I'm on all of the socials, but you can also find your platform of preference there. I am opening a community that is free, which you can sign up for on my website as well. And there we're going to dive more into just connecting with each other and having more of these real conversations and having fun. Like, let's just like, what are your weird wins of the day? Like, what are the cool things that are happening for you? And I do answer all my messages. I really do want to make friends and talk about real things with people. So just, if you need an encouraging word or you need someone to sob on, like, I'm your gal.
So good. Riah, thank you so very much. I'm so glad it was you today. I needed to hear this message, and hopefully other people out there have got as much as I did.
Thank you so much. It was an honor.
Well, that wraps it up. Thank you so much for listening. If you're new around here, please be sure to leave us a review on any podcast platform you're listening to. And you can always reach out to me to let me know what topics you're interested in hearing about, or maybe telling me someone you think would be great for the show. Either way, I'd love to hear from you. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram at EfficiencyBee. Until next time, see ya!